All right, I'm here to tell you about the 10 commandments of a domestic violence case. If you've been arrested or a loved one has been arrested for domestic violence, you need to know these 10 rules. I think it's 10. We'll see. Number 1, the prosecutor is the one who presses charges and not the victim. So some people say, oh, I don't want to press charges. For example, they're mad at their boyfriend during a fight. They call the police out of anger. They're pissed off. Then once they cool down, they say, I don't want to file charges. Well, it's too late because the prosecutor files the charges and you're just a witness to the prosecutor. They go on despite you. They have their own agenda. Number 2, that's called a recanting victim, and the prosecutors consider that fake, that now you're changing your mind. But a recanting victim can still be helpful to the defendant because the recanting victim has rights in a domestic violence case, including the right not to testify under Civil Code Section 1219B. Number 3, once a case is filed, the judge will issue a protective order, which is essentially a restraining order, restraining the defendant from talking to the victim. A lot of times these are two people that love each other, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, but they can't talk to each other after that first court date, which is called arraignment. That's why it's important to coordinate. If they're interested in working together, they have to coordinate their defense prior to the first court date. Number 4, Penal Code Section 273.5, corporal injury to a spouse cohabitant is a wobbler. That means it could be charged either as a felony or a misdemeanor. So just because you're arrested on a felony, which people usually are, doesn't mean the case is going to be charged as a felony. Number 5, there's various legal defenses that you can be used if you do have to go to court. 1 is self-defense. 2, it never happened. 3, they can't prove that it happened beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the prosecutor's burden of proof. 7. 7's not important. Let's skip to 8. Other charges related to PC 273.5 corporal injury is PC 243E1 domestic battery. Usually that's charged when there's no injuries or very, very minor injuries compared to 273.5. PC 273A, child endangerment, is often charged with domestic violence if there's kids around who witnessed the fight. PC 368, elder abuse, if the victim is over 65 years of age. And domestic violence isn't always between, two significant others. It could be a son and a mom, family members, a brother or sister. So if it's an older parent, for example, or older uncle that's the victim, elder abuse could be charged. And a lot of times we've been successful in reducing domestic violence to PC 415, disturbing the peace, which is a very minor crime. Number 9, importantly, you could, if you're convicted of domestic violence, you could lose your gun rights in California for life, at least for 10 years and potentially for life. So if you are a gun enthusiast, make sure you don't plead guilty to 273.5. Number 10, if you are not a citizen, you could be deported, and the authorities look at domestic violence very seriously when considering domestic immigration consequences. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that was 10 rules. Those are the 10 commandments for domestic violence cases. Now, let's get after it.